Hello everyone. Wanted to do a real quick video, so to speak. Well, quick is, you know me, when I say quick, you never know if it's actually quick, right? Anyways, so this is the patch notes for Atlas Reactor Season 3, Chapter 1 patch notes. This is just my first time looking at it. I have not seen the exact patch. The last time I saw some of the patch notes was during the PTS that was released last week. But I did not read too much into it. I think there's only the few major highlights that I read, was like for such as Rask, his his knockback change, for example. But I've not read into details. So these are the official patch notes that have just came out. Not a, well, I guess for me it was a few minutes ago, but from the time I'm actually recording here right now, it's probably been about an hour because I had to go. I realized I never read the Chapter 5 lore. So I read that and I was confused, and then I read before, then I got caught up reading season 1, and I don't know what happened. Anyways, patch notes, season 3. All right, so this patch will go live tomorrow. The point you're watching this, let's see, today at some point. So season 3, much to Helio's dismay, a brand new trust is taking up residence in Atlas. This makes the 4th trust. Hyperbotics, a collective that fuses the remnants for warbotics within the resources of the former Hyperion Empire, has arrived. Season 3 has begun. So this comes with Meriden, I believe, right? Meriden. I think it's Meriden. I don't know. Anyways, with his resurrection because of Quark, he is back, as well as Hyperbotics now. So now we officially have 4 trusts in the work. This is a first time, I believe, but this is something to definitely keep an eye out for all of you lore guys. Chapter 1 will be coming out, and I'll be super excited to see what happens there. As I'm just so invested in the lore, so I can't wait to see what's gonna happen now with a 4th trust being in the mix, and how Helio's gonna take this. Obviously, Helio's not happy, but I mean, especially the other 2 trusts. The other 2 trusts are very eccentric. I'm not sure I want to put that. Aggressive? No. If Helio's not happy, they must be furious. But then again, seeing who Meriden is, you know, he's you don't want to mess with someone that big. He's powerful, obviously. Coming from Hyperion, he also pulls some weight as well. But anyways, here we are. There's new challenges and missions, so make sure to check those out. New skins for Kaigan, Phaedra, Surin, Blackburn, Rask, Oz, and Rampart. These earned through the special Warforged loot matrix. New skins we've earned for ISO after the chapter has ended, obviously. Earn a salty overcon just for logging in. Obviously going to be the best and most used overcon during the entire season 3. Oh man, you're probably going to see me spam this so much. Anyways, yeah, I believe this is the changes to the skins, the new skins, sorry, I don't know why I said changes. I believe the new skins coming are the robotic skins, not to be confused with the warbotics, you know, the already current, like Blackburn's alternate skin. Not those. These are actually like robot versions, more like Android, so to speak. So it'll be really cool to see. Now I say so to speak because, again, going back to the lore, you know that Kaigan kind of already is in that space, so seeing him as a full-on robot will be really interesting. But I believe that was shown off on stream. If anyone hasn't seen it, you should go check it out because it's really cool. New freelancer, Meriden, the Herald of Hyperion. Whispers of the miracle maker from Hyperion precede Meriden's arrival in Atlas. He's a melee support that wields a giant hammer and is built to defend his allies with the light of Hyperion. His presence inspire immediate loyalty from a number of freelancers, Bryn in particular. Remember, Bryn is from Hyperion, so she's probably super excited to see him here. And not only here, taking commands. Like, it really just seems like he comes here and he's taking command like, this is a loot. This is a loot. Loot. This is a trust that I am forming. Like, he's just absolutely commanding. And if you look at him in game, he just screams command. Like, he's that type of person that walks into a room and everyone shuts up. Because he has that presence about him. Let's see. So he's also been seen frequently at Zuki's Flying Junkyard, which created much gossip over whether or not he's had any work done. For the record, when asked, the prideful automaton insists he's 100% original. Note that his Golden Age skin and Master skin are coming. They will, so they're delayed. So he will not have a Golden or Master Age skin, but they will be coming. So blame James. If you're upset about that, hashtag blame James in the comments or on Twitter, whatever. He will see it and he will be very, very much ridiculed. Extraction is back. The game mode for Chapter 1 is Extraction. Get the case to your Extraction Zone and reap the rewards. I kind of hinted to this due to these stats. In the stats section, there was specific stats per game mode, and one of them specifically said Extraction. So that led me to believe that either Extraction was going to go ahead and become a permanent mode, or at least become the first game mode or highlighted game mode of the Chapter 1 for this one. And it seems like that is the case. Being that Extraction is the most popular game mode for the Atlas Reactor community right now, even over the standard deathmatch mode, I'm not surprised to see it back for Chapter 1, and I really wouldn't be surprised to see it made permanent or even just made a core fundamental of the game, because that's how many players are really into Extraction. They believe it brings that much more strategic elements. It makes the games that much more faster as well. So again, I'm not a super fan of Extraction. I've said this plenty of times. I don't go back on my word. However, I can see why people like it. I can see why the objective focus is something that's enjoyable to watch and enjoyable to play. So, of course, I will bring you guys content. I've been requested content so many times, like, we love Extraction. Why aren't you making Extraction? I'm not going to shy around about it. I'm one of the top Atlas Reactor content creators. So for you guys, yes, I will go ahead and bring you a slew of Extraction videos, including streams, which I plan, hopefully, on streaming Extraction tomorrow, at least for a couple hours, and during the day, and then again at night. Hopefully, I'll try in the morning, but likely it'll be in the afternoon, because I know most of you have requested that you want to see streams in the afternoon, so that's what I'm going to try to do. Ranked Season 2 is ended. Season 3 Ranked will start on May 23rd and will be off until that date. This is standard. I will probably announce this in the first official Season 3 Ranked video. But yeah, as of right now, for anyone watching, my Ranked season is pretty much over. I need to go convert those VODs, put them into the Envy for Masters playlist. We ended at, I believe, Platinum 4. I think it's Platinum 4. I'm not sure. As a matter of fact, we can probably test that real quick. Let's play and we go check that out real quick. In the meantime, so yes, Ranked Season 3 will end. And unfortunately, it ended at Platinum. It's the same issue kind of as Season 1, except this one was actually more my fault entirely than it was. Well, with Season 1, it was more of a misunderstanding. Like, I played late into the Ranked. Not misunderstanding, sorry. I played late into the season of Season 1. I knew it was ending soon. And I was like, well, I don't have a lot to play and whatnot, so there's not much I can do. I could try my hardest, and I did. Within 30 games, I went to Platinum, you know, and it was a feel good moment. With Season 2, it really was complete lack of gameplay on my part. I played way too little games. Oh wait, I just noticed that you can't see that. Okay, let's check this out real quick. Ranked Platinum 4. Yep. So solo ranked Platinum 4 is where we're gonna end. There's no point in queuing up because the queues are like literally 10-20 minutes long right now. So that is pretty much where we're going to end, guys. Duo Ranked will be an actual thing. This will be an actual video series that I want to do. I wanted to commit to this last season, but just did not have the time or resources. This coming up season, I've already put away certain times, and I'm hopefully planning on having certain Ch1 creators here with me to play Duo Ranked with. I'm planning, at least right now, to have every Duo Ranked game to be on voice comms with somebody through Discord, likely, and bringing you guys that kind of content. It's been requested quite a bit. Team Ranked, I'm not entirely sure, because it'd be really hard to get a bunch of people together for that. It's already hard enough getting another creator in for Duo Ranked, because obviously creators, I mean, we're Ch1 creators for a reason, because we're always busy making stuff for you guys to watch and consume. So it's a little difficult to get on someone else's schedule and for them to get on your schedule. So that's what's going on with that. Anyway, so yeah, so Ranked, that's what's going on. Nothing else to say about that. Stats, check out the robust new stats system. If you guys haven't seen it, I did an official, at least for me, Season 3 preview for Atlas Reactor. It's about 3 minutes long. If you haven't witnessed it, go witness it and be bathed in the glory of everything that's coming to Atlas Reactor Season 3. By the way, I've seen some of your comments. No, I didn't talk about the character changes for Season 3 preview. It's a preview, not a patch notes. So I didn't go over every single change, okay? I just highlighted the major stuff. And while Rask having a little move on his knockback is a pretty big change for the character, it's not a big change for the game overall, okay? Alright? Calm down, guys. Calm down. Oh my gosh. So yeah, stats, achievements. If you guys want to see that, again, I made a video of it. Please check it out. But yes, they will track stats for general freelancers. On the end of the match screen, you'll be able to compare stats from your averages. Now, initially I thought this was average for every player. Like they had their own data for every player, and this was the average to compare against everyone else. But it seems it's your personal average. So if you average like 20 damage, okay, wait. I don't know what I just said there. Let's rewind that a bit. If you average anywhere from like 300 to 350 in damage for, let's say, Lockwood, right, which is actually kind of low, then basically that's your average damage dealt per game for Lockwood. You could deal higher, you could deal lower, and that's why you got that average. So every time you beat that average, you'll get like a little notification like, hey, you beat your average. And that's good, because the more you're beating your average, the more that you're noticeably improving. The player profile can be accessed by clicking your own banner. We've seen that. Many stats are not retroactive. You have to start from Season 3. Understand this, guys. These stats aren't your history to this date. As far as stats goes, you're starting brand new and fresh. To a lot, this may be dismay, like, why? Don't worry. Considering that these are numbers and your average, it shouldn't be too long for the system to pick up on what your actual averages and trends are. So I would say probably about 40, 50 games should be a good general idea of where you stand as far as... Woo! Man, I hate that. Sorry, guys. Trying not to choke up on a dust mite or something. So yeah, many of your it should show many of your averages, and you have a good general idea about where you stand, where you're lacking, and how to improve. The stats page is something I want to do a special video only on, but obviously I gotta wait 2 or 3 weeks. I want to get like a good 100, maybe 200 games in, and give you guys a good idea of like, okay, so here's my stats, here's where I'm failing, here's where I can focus on, and how to utilize it. That'll probably take me about 2 to 3 weeks to do, guys. If you really want to see it sooner, then maybe I'll just try to jam out 50 to 100 games as quickly as possible, and I can get that out to you by next week or the week after. So that way you can see how I view the stats phase and how I recommend it's viewed, so you can help improve your own gameplay. Achievements, straightforward. I said this in my preview video as well. Check them out. They're progressive stuff. And Steam users. So Steam, you can get Steam achievements. People love achievements. I'm not super into achievements unless there's a reward. That's just me. I'm that kind of guy. But I can, or like, I like little titles or something like, hey, I got this achievement, show the title or show it off. But I can see how people like it. I'm not super into achievement hunting. It's cool, don't get me wrong. I like achievements, but I'm not like gonna dedicate many hours to getting at a certain achievement. Moving on. Hyperforge is our new map. War Rage within high-tech armory with open battleground and generous camouflage make for tense, wide-range skirmishes. Hyperforge has the first rotating power-ups. Each time it's picked up, it will spawn as different power-ups the next time on a specific cycle. It's not random. All game modes are supported on Hyperforge. So, Hyperforge is going to be a very interesting map to play on. That's probably going to be the first special video I want to bring you guys, like my first gameplay on Hyperforge. I'm not sure, because PvP is obviously going to be random game mode, so yeah, I don't know. I'll stream my Season 3 debut, quote unquote, tomorrow, or today. Sorry, you're watching this today. Today, at some point. Keep an eye out for the Twitter postings. I'll likely also post on YouTube when I'm going live and whatnot. So again, keep an eye on that, guys, and I'll let you know when I'm streaming, so that way you can come in and watch the action, see how I do on Hyperforge in my first official match For anyone who is curious, I have not played an actual PvP match on Hyperforge. I've only played custom games and against bots. So it'll be really interesting. If anyone wants a behind the scene bloopers type thing, the gameplay you see in the season 3 patch review or patch preview video, yeah, I lost that hard. I got 0-5 by bots. You want to know what else is worse? I actually tailored that matchup. I did it fair, you know, 1 free frontliner, 2 damage dealers, support, and I tailored that lineup specifically for them to lose, and we just got wrecked. I just got wrecked. Yeah, there's a little blooper. I laughed hard about it afterwards too, after I was done crying, but you know, it's kind of funny. Moving on, catalysts. They're an entirely new set of catalysts. I went over this in my season 3 preview video. Now, I would recommend watching the preview video if you want to check it out. I went over every single catalyst, very quick display on what they do, what the changes are. And yes, again, to the people who commented, I did miss some things here and there. I think a couple things. The most called out was Adrenaline that I missed. Adrenaline gains unstoppable to the end of the turn. You are no longer hasted. But that wasn't really much of a big deal. Like, the haste for Adrenaline was underused. It was the unstoppable you used it for. However, most people don't even use Adrenaline, so it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, I can see where you guys are coming from. I did miss it. But let's be honest, how many of you knew that there was haste? Like, there was 2 guys who were commenting about it, I think, or whatever. And it was pretty clear that everyone else was like, oh, wow, I didn't even know that. Or, you know what? That's right. It did have haste, didn't it? Again, it's so underused. I wouldn't even bother with Adrenaline ever, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong. It can be a good catalyst. Every catalyst is technically viable. But out of the other options you have here, you know, might just not want to take Adrenaline. I mean, Chrono Surge is probably better substitute. Adrenaline, you're trying to get out of Unstoppable, get away. Chrono Surge is probably what you're going to want to use anyways. In most cases. In my opinion. Look, Chrono Surge is a huge AoE when you use it. I don't know if you know it. It ain't just squares around you. Whew. Anyway, so Critical Shot. Yes, Critical Shot here. One of the perfect ones. It remains as it was. Brain Juice has moved from prep and now reduces cooldown by 1. Prepare to take more damage. Second Wind is moved for prep, and now heals for 30 instead of 45. Regenerate gives Energize for the turn. Particularly interested in quick ult builds. And Rip Turtle Tech. Everyone, please. Rip Turtle Tech. Rest in peace. We're going to miss you. Everyone's going to miss you. I don't know what we're going to do without you because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, where's my shield? I need that Turtle Tech shield. It's gone now. I'm sorry. You just need to not take damage. Dash. Shift. The second perfect one. It remains as it was. Fetter now does 10 direct damage in addition to rooting. Fade. The final perfect one. It remains as it was. Regroup. The one everyone's calling OP and broken and I don't agree with yet. But teleport long distance to an ally. This gets you away from a fight. If you're caught out, then this gets you a 1 get out of jail free card. I don't think it's broken because I can understand how that's a 1 get out of jail free card. But let me tell you this, you shouldn't have been in that position to begin with if you're caught out. The other shift and fade. Fetter's now more useful with the 10 damage, honestly. And I know a lot of people are like, wow, that's not very useful. It is. Having a little bit of damage on that actually makes its viability shoot up quite a bit. But I still think shift and more particularly fade is going to be the go-to dash catalyst. Fade is still, as I called it in my video, the grandmommy of dashes. Fade is, I still think, is going to be the most efficient dash catalyst to use in terms of strategic placement. But of course, call me if I'm wrong. I can understand where regroup could be useful as well, especially if you want to shield someone. I called that out, and everyone's thinking if you get caught out. I've called this out so many times, and I gotta stop saying those words over and over again. Regroup isn't just a get out of jail free card as well. You can use it to get to an ally, body block a shot, you know, make sure you can heal them. Imagine Surin who's using regroup and already has her shield procced up to go heal an ally all of a sudden. Like, that can be used so efficiently, and everyone's just calling it a get out of jail free card. I think there's more strategic value for regroup. I won't call regroup overpowered or broken, but I also won't call it like something you shouldn't take. I think regroup should be very seriously considered. Additionally, all shift katas will display their icon on the ground when used to make it more clearly what each player has used. Not sure if it's going to be fixed or patched because, as far as I could tell, regroup had left no trail on the floor from the testing that I've done. I've done it in 3 or 4 games. I saw no sign of regroup after the Lancer had used it. There was no indication on the floor. So I'm not entirely sure if it's more of, hey, there's no indication, so they used regroup. But just something to consider, guys, in case you happen to see in game, hey, I didn't see no notification. They likely use regroup then. So keep that in mind in your games for now, unless that is patched. But again, if you want to see the symbols of each dash kata, go watch my Season 3 preview video. I went through every single one of them. Blast. Probe gives vision for 2 turns, can see through camouflage. Rip Nix. Echo Boost. Increase the duration of buffs on your turn for 1 turn. Rampart tested. Blackburn approved. Echo Boost is going to be interesting because I think that's more of a team coordinated strategic value. If you're going to get a might from Su Rin and then about to run over a healing or an energize buff, then this will give you a lot more value in those buffs by a lot. Having it by an extra turn is huge and should not be misunderstood as just a, oh, well, I mean, that's not that great. No, that's actually pretty powerful. Like, Echo Boost is in the running. For the Blast Phase Catalyst, a lot of people are viewing it as weak. I think Echo Boost is in the running for one of the must-have catalysts. We'll get to the second must-have here in a moment. Adrenaline, again, already talked about this. You're the Juggernaut dog, as they said. It's alright. Chrono Surge is the other one I want to talk about. Slows all nearby enemies and gain haste. Gotta go fast. Sonic reference. Haha. Again, I made a little video on this. I don't know if anyone could tell that Zuki and Lockwood were running to the same spot. Zuki got slowed. This is so useful. As long as you know you're not going to get slowed, and hopefully you don't. This is so useful for getting away from a pup, from a Rask, from a Phaedra. You know, after Phaedra's already used her slow and her dash or whatever, then get away. You know, use pop Chrono Surge and run. Get out of there. It's so useful, I think, in my opinion. Like, it's really cool, and I'm glad that a catalyst like Chrono Surge exists. Like, this is an awesome thing. Especially if you have one of those like double melee. Ooh, we now have that option. I was gonna say a Su Rin and a Phaedra coming up on you, but now we have Su Rin and a Meriden likely coming up on you. So this puts value on Chrono Surge even higher, in my opinion. So that's something to keep an eye out. Reconnecting, we've made some big changes under the hood to reconnecting. Disconnect should be less frequent as we now auto reconnect to you if your connection suffers a small drop of inactivity. This is great. This is huge. So many people complain about the fact that they'll lose connection for like a second, or they're just having some lag issues, and bam, you're dropped from the game, replaced by a bot. You get upset, you don't come back. The team who's playing ranked suffers and cry in dismay. But yeah, so that's good. I'm glad they're focusing on reconnecting. That's a huge thing for Atlas Reactor and makes me absolutely happy. Fixed a few general reconnect bugs. AI bot improvements, that's always good. For those who do leave, I'm in the favor of if someone leaves, the AI bot should be at least smart enough to play safe-ish, depending on what it is. So if it's a carry, damage dealer, then, you know, play safe, play towards the back and damage who you can. If it's a support, kind of the same thing. If you're a frontliner, you know, pay attention to your health. There's a lot of things to consider when it's an AI bot, because you can make it like extremely hard, but then that makes it to where, oh, I hope somebody leaves my game because the bot plays so much better. You know, and I never, ever, ever, ever want to hear that, because that is probably one of the worst things you can say. And that's very rude, guys. You should never say anything that rude. I'm always on the advocate that you should report people who are super rude or super toxic in game. And no way should you ever say something that bad where you wish you had a bot because someone else is not playing up to your standards. Understand that there's always new people in the game. Matchmaking may not be to your liking, but they are fixing it. They are actually making improvements to these. You just have to keep providing feedback in a well-constructed form, but you have to keep providing feedback, give data. Shoot, someone started a Reddit thread about every matchmaking issue, you know, and I'll even go on there with any that I have. So, you know, do this in a civilized manner, guys. Quark will no longer use crit shot on the same turn he ults, because it's weird. Bots have number improvements. Ranged freelancers now prefer cover positions. You'll now prefer to shift into brush. Range freelancers with high health will needlessly dash less. Bots will consider if its square is occupied when shifting. Bots will be less likely to dash if already in cover. Helio is smarter about using his shields on allies and more. So again, things I just talked about. Want bots to be a lot more smarter about how they're played, depending on the roles and the freelancer if possible. So they're making improvements to not make it as predictable when playing against a bot of knowing like, yep, it's a frontliner. She's just gonna chase me. Let's take this Asana bot right into my team and just blow her up, you know? General and all chat is now restricted for new players until they play 5 matches. This is to help with, spam and stuff like that. Alt clicking an ability icon on your bar will now print information to chat, including the ability name, cooldown, energy stats for ult. Use this to let you know on your iPhone. Oh my gosh. So guys, before I'm making this video, I just learned about this from Jeff Hamilton on Twitter literally just a moment ago. Had I known about this, I absolutely would have included this in my preview video. This is huge, guys. This is so huge. I love this in any game. So I love smart pings in any game. I love being able to ping like, hey, danger over here. Hey, stay safe. Or hey, I'm on my way. Stuff like that, right? Being able to ping your own abilities and letting them know like, hey, my ultimate's on cooldown. Similar to the Overwatch, for example, right? My ultimate's up soon. Or hey, my dash is up soon. Or hey, my heal's up soon. That is so huge. And in a game where communication is key, and I've said this in my tips video, if there's a way to ping your abilities, stuff like that, which there now is, utilize this, guys. Utilize it so badly, because that is a huge change. And I'm thinking about doing just a quick 5-minute video on that specifically, because that is so huge. You have no idea how big that is. Let me stop screaming in your face and move on. You can now select your language from the options menu. That's good. Instead of through glyph. Fix some issues where incorrect fill skins are selected. Fix the issue where death visual effects and sound effects were playing again on the game over screen, making me feel double bad. Yeah, I love seeing myself die twice. Change some text that was previously all caps. Sorry, we weren't trying to yell. Balance. Oh gosh, here's where the rages come in. Let me tell you this, guys. This is from, I'm not going to try to hide, say I'm a diamond player like last season. I'm just going to have to prove it in season 3 that I know I'm a diamond to masters level player. I will prove it this season 3. I swear on this. But with that being said, I'm not going to hide behind it like I did last season. I'm going to straight up say I'm a platinum player. Obviously, I play this game a lot. It's the main thing on my YouTube for the past almost a year. 6 months, 7 months, I don't know. When did we start? October? I don't remember. Anyways, it's a long time player and a platinum player. These are all my opinions. Do not take it as the word of God. If you disagree, tell me you disagree. Don't get out the pitchforks, all right? Let me explain. I'm sure we may not agree on some of these. Frontliner changes. Phaedra. We think Putrid Spray is more fun with 2 turns for the base duration. Damage has been reduced to compensate. Mending Swarm now has a cap, which will be tuning over time. This is interesting. Mending Swarm now has a maximum heal of 60, 30 max each turn. That's a nerf. That is a huge nerf. For anyone who's curious, that is a mind-boggling nerf to Phaedra. Which, to be fair, may actually keep her in line a bit. But oh, that's why you picked Phaedra. Honestly, this is why Phaedra is the number one. One of the reasons why she's the number 1 frontliner. The other reason is because she has insane burst damage with Putrid Spray. But we'll go over that in a moment. Yeah, Mending Swarm is huge. I've made countless videos here where I've played as Phaedra and I've healed up for like 100+ damage. That's insane. Like when you're gonna get ulted by 3 people plus some damage, but you're gonna have a shield and you pop up that Mending Swarm, bam, and you get it all back. That is so depressing for the enemy team. This is probably a well-deserved nerf, but I am super upset. I think 60 is too low though. I think 60 is a little too. I think 80 is about where you want. 60 is about maybe an ult. Maybe you get the ult damage back. But I think that's a little too low for what Phaedra is and for how her ult used to work. I think maybe 80, 70, I probably feel a little more comfortable and call it a okay, fine. but I think 60 is a little too low. Then again, this is coming from someone who consistently gets Mending Swarm from like 100 damage sources. And even I have to say that's way too strong. So we'll have to play around with 60 for a while and see how that does. I'm not super sold on it, but we'll have to see how it works in game. Putrid Spray. Duration increased from 1 to 2. Damage reduced from 20 to 15. Hive mod is removed. Big Bugs mod is introduced. Damage increase reduction from 5 to 3. This is interesting. It's kind of it's a buff nerf, obviously. It's a buff to the duration. So you have another opportunity to hit it if they dash that following turn. But it's also a nerf in damage. So which would you rather have? The ability to know you're going to pop it, or the damage being that you're not going to hit it? Well, considering everyone took the mod to extend the duration, it's one of those things where you were likely to hit the ability regardless. So now it's kind of a slight nerf. Overall, I think Phaedra's been nerfed in this. Yes, the duration increase is nice. You know, you don't have to have the mod for that. Which, you know what, that'll be something to actually think about, now that I think about it. So I'll have to go over it again. I haven't played Phaedra in at least a few weeks. So it'll really be interesting to see what other mods you can now use in its place, right? Now that the duration is increased on the base ability, damage reduced to 5, what other mods can you use now to make this, to make it more viable? It's possible Phaedra could be a little bit more stronger now. She has more options with Putrid Spray, and she's not forced to take the extra duration increase mod. So this will be kind of interesting. Again, Phaedra is kind of a weird buff nerf thing with her. You know, well-deserved nerf and Mending Swarm, weird changes for Putrid Spray, but not saying it's bad or good changes. It's just going to be really interesting to see how Phaedra plays. Rask, oh, good old kitty cat. Check out that knockback upgrade. Maul's damage increased by 2. That's deserved. He was missing a little bit of damage. There's always that. He deals weird damage. Let's put it like that. Like, his damage output is kind of weird. Sometimes it's bursty. Sometimes it's like you barely tickled, you know, my Helio with no shield. So, Beastal mod damage reduction by 2. That's cool. Upheaval. Move cursor in or out to adjust the knockback distance between 1 and 4. Oh man, everyone's up in arms about this one. It's overpowered. It's great. It's weird. I'm on the it's great path. This is a good buff to Rask in my opinion. Being that, so Rask used to be considered a top tier frontliner, but once we got more players in, more videos of ranked matches coming out from higher elo players or streams, then people started to discover, wait a minute, Asana's a lot better. And then wait a minute, Phaedra's pretty dang good. And even now with the Garrison buff, you mean Garrison, who went from like just no one really cared about him to being super good. That one ult change, I'm gonna say it again. I underestimated that ult change. I was like, this buff is crap. Like, this is a crap buff. I will fully go back and say it. I was flat out wrong. And I've said this so many times. People are getting annoyed at this. That one Garrison change was absolutely incredible and did so much for his viability. Back to Rask. Upheaval, I think, is really good. I like it. I can't wait to play him more. I don't think this makes him overpowered, as a lot of people are calling, but I think this finally nudges him just back up into a top tier position along with Asana and maybe Phaedra, depending on how these changes affect. I honestly think this is enough to put Phaedra down a notch and kick Rask up a notch or two. So it'll really be interesting. For me personally, I still consider Asana the top tier. There's no changes for her here. I don't see any reason personally why Asana should not be your first pick as a frontliner. Titus is still kind of behind there, but Titus is starting to lack a little bit in terms of what he can do. But he's still reliable as well if you want to pick him up, in my opinion. We're getting to the point now that just about every frontliner is pretty viable. Rampart, I still think Rampart's a little too much. Like, if one of his abilities, any one of them, wall, hook, actually just wall or hook, if one of those can have a cooldown reduced by just one of those abilities, I think it'll make him a lot more better than where he's at right now. It's just Rampart just feels a little clunkier to play. Unless you really invest time and commitment to playing Rampart and to playing around those old playing around with knowing when to block, when to shield, not just shielding every second it's up, then Rampart is really good. But he's still not better than Asana or Phaedra right now, at least pre-season 3. And I think even after this, I don't think Rampart's better than either. So those are my opinions, guys, on the frontliner. This video is already going long. I can already see the 35-minute. If you're still here, at least we're almost done. Oh, jeez. Okay. Let's move on to support. Aurora, Ion Cloud has healing by default increased. Wait. Ion Cloud now has healing by default to increase mod flexibility. Oh, I see. So one of my mods that I have on Aurora, and I was literally going to do her video next, but I was waiting in case there was changes. Hey, there's changes. One of my mods on Aurora is literally called Healbot. And basically every ability I have has some sort of heal, except for the shielding, obviously. And basically I just sit there healing. I have the mod to increase healing to allies. I had the mod for Ion Cloud to heal. Now it has base healing built into it. Shock therapy, damage increase from 18 to 20. That's not bad, I guess. Not bad. I guess. Ion Cloud heals all allies by 4 for default. If it senses a default mod, I can understand why they're going for 4 instead of the mod that granted 6. Invigorating Cloud increases heal from 4 to 6, but now costs 2 points. Never mind, as I just talked, that's a great buff. But I still think everyone's going to want to take Invigorating Cloud. Extra turn duration mod costs from 1 to 3. What? What? Why? Hardly anyone's ever in there for 1 turn. Like, after you use it, usually people move out of it. Yeah, I don't. Whatever. I can see some Aurora players out there is like, oh, this is awesome, or oh, this is crap. I have no opinions for that one. No, I do have an opinion. I don't think that's a good mod. I think that's kind of useless in my opinion, but we'll see how it plays out. I could be wrong. Again, talk about the Garrison ult. I thought that was crap. It ended up making him super viable. I was dead wrong there. I could be dead wrong here too. Dr. Finn. Finn is getting a slight buff and more useful 1-pointer on his ult. What? Wait, hold on. Refreshing spray can change in size similar to water spouts. Now heals for 24 at the widest. Same template it currently is. And 30 at the narrowest. Holy shoot. Alright guys. Get ready to see me wet my whistle because I'm going to be playing some more Finn. I can tell you that right now just from looking at that one. Electrifying Eels, ignore cover. Damage reduction. Damage reduced from 24 to 20. Maelstrom, cast off mod, no longer causes knockback. Now causes Finn to be unstoppable to the end of the turn. Okay, don't care about Maelstrom. Let's look at Eels and Spray. Holy crap. Finn. Hey, technical issues in the middle of a recording. That's great. Let me say this, guys. Let me say this again, because you didn't hear me the first time. Finn is now viable. I'm gonna call it right now. Finn is gonna be considered one of the top tiers. I'm gonna call it right now. It's super ballsy. It's super ballsy to consider that there's no changes from what I can see to Orion or Aurora or Helio, and they're both pretty. Oh wait, Aurora. We were talking about. Okay, maybe not. So, anyways, I think Finn's gonna be top tier. Being able to heal for 30 now in the narrowest sprays. And they didn't say it's reduced for different freelancers. So if you can line up 2 of your buddies to heal for 30, this is huge. This is such a huge change, guys. This is big. This is very, very big. Oh my gosh. So this is awesome. I'm super happy for that. Electrifying Eels ignoring cover. Sure, damage reduces to 20 now instead of 24. But ignoring cover is pretty great, considering everyone's usually in cover. If they aren't, you're not playing right. And the more important thing about Eels is you're trying to hit the backline with it. You're counting on those Eels bouncing and doing some minor damage to the backline. It's ignoring cover now entirely, where everything else has reduced cover damage or cut the reduced cover damage by half, whatever that weird thing is. This ignores it. There's few abilities or things that completely ignore cover now. This is huge. This is big. Finn's going to be viable. I'm calling it right now. This is great. I'm going to be playing more Finn. I know it right now. Kita. Ooh. Resonance Burst. The Focus Burst mod, extra shielding reduced from 10 to 6. You can't see it, but I got a what face on right now. It's another one of the things where I'm like, what? Why? It sounds weird, but you know, sure the devs have the data on how much shielding Resonant Burst is shielded from and prevented death. I don't know. That's weird. From 10 to 6 is kind of weird to me, but again, I'm not the one balancing it. I play a lot of Kita, but I have very specific mods that I run on her mod build, and it's never changed. So because I've never seen a reason to change it, because the other mods don't interest me. So again, I'm not sure on how well those work. Vaulting Shot, Survivalist mod, no longer reduces cooldown, increased damage from 20 to 26. That's kind of a bite. Cool, increased on damage from 20 to 26. That's pretty cool. But no longer reducing cooldown is pretty big. I would say 28. I'd be happier if you made it 28. If it was 28, then I'll be a little bit happier. But losing the cooldown for a 6 damage increase is kind of pushing it. It's still, I can kind of grasp it, but that's pushing it. This video is already long. Let's keep going. Quirk. We like Quirk as a high regen character. Retooting his maxed health to increase his fragility. What? Oh, to increase. Okay, I get it. Reduce maximum health from 140 to 130. Atomic Bond. Sharing is carrying mod. Healing reduced from 3 to 2. So basically, Quirk is not as tanky anymore. Still doesn't solve the problem of Quirk in general, where a lot of players just don't know how to hit him. Smarter players will hide behind cover and be at the very maximum bond range. Always pay attention where allies are moving to, and can, you know, just stay out of the fight entirely, just healing people. So again, this doesn't solve what the Quirk problem is. However, for smarter players and the higher elos, this is pretty huge, because now just play Kaigen, Pup, anyone who can jump on Quirk, and he's dead way quicker than what he would normally be. Atomic Bond nerf is pretty good, and the maximum health reduction is deserved. Unfortunately, I did say this before, and I'll say it again. Quirk isn't as overpowered as he used to be, but still needed maybe a bit of a nerf. This is just that bit that I think he needed. So we'll see. He may be just not played at all. I think Finn's going to replace him. I think Finn's going to be powerful. For anyone who wants a few good wins and you're a support player, play Finn. Because I think Finn so far is the biggest change out of all of these. Firepower. Well, there's Rast too, but you know, whatever. Blackburn. Blackburn has been consistently performing well, especially after the recent changes that improved the strength of Blitz. A slight damage reduction will put him on more even footing with other firepowers. Damage reduced from 28 to 25 on Protest Grenade. Holy crap. Why? Why? I already thought Grenade dealt tiny bits of damage as it is. Now it deals even less. Oh gosh, like I want to bang my head on the table right here. Honestly, in my opinion, Protest Grenade is the main source of damage. That's why I take the 2-turn mod on it. I'm so upset now. I already keep thinking like, oh yeah, this'll... Oh wait, no, it doesn't do that much damage. I forget. Because I keep thinking Protest Grenade is a 30 damage and it's a 28. Now I'm going to be even more confused thinking it's a 30 and it's a 25. Man, I'm depressed. I'm depressed. I can kind of see why it is a ignore covers, goes over walls type ability. So it shouldn't be super powerful, but it's a grenade. It should do damage, you know. Anyways, on to Juno. Juno can put out the hurt, but her laser barrage feels overshadowed by her other abilities. A slight boost should make people think twice while getting in range of her miniguns. Damage increased by 2. Probably deserved. I agree exactly with that quote, unfortunately. A lot of people are just like, oh man, it doesn't do too much. No, yeah, now extra 2 damage, maybe make you think twice about, you know, getting up in her face and staying there. Zuki, the big one, regenerating ammo man, no longer reduces the cooldown, but now grants 6 energy on cast. This mod is meant to be new player friendly, but ended up magnifying their experience. This is another what face, by the way. I'm not sure what to say about that one. No longer reduces the cooldown, but now grants 6 energy on cast. That I don't. Just don't take this mod. I don't see why you would take it. The free action mod and the slowing mod are the better one, in my opinion. This is not that great, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I still think the slow mod and the free action mod are probably the top 2 ones you would want to get. I don't see this one being a contender for those, in my opinion. But that's it for the patch notes, guys. We're gonna move on. It's 45 minutes. I swear, I said at the beginning this is gonna be quick, and it wasn't. I was honestly thinking like 15, maybe 20 minutes. Nope. Let's double that time and add 5 more on it. All right. Well, anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for me today. If you watch this whole thing, holy crap! Tell me what's your favorite part of this patch note. You know what? How about this? If you watch this whole thing, tell me why you think Finn is overpowered. Even if you don't think so, just make up a reason. Because his tentacles are too slimy. There you go. There's a reason. I'll see you next time, guys.